I was looking into my video footage and I didn't cover the light switch, or maybe I did and I lost the footage, but I couldn't find it. So anyway, we're gonna quickly go through this so we can document everything that's been done on the Jeep. So we'll start with one. So this can be mirror of what we see on the switch actually, just because this is the connector, and I'm gonna show you the this is the connector socket, and I'm going to show you the switch. So obviously it's mirror. So one, it's a tan wire, and it's a panel lamp dimmer switch signal. So that tan wire here, that's one. It comes from the dimmer, like it's when you twist the light, and then it's not connected, but it's going to be connected to the gauge cluster. And that's how I'm gonna dim like the gauge cluster. Light green is number 2, and that's the headlamp switch output. So that light green, which is number 2, which is this one. It says light green, but I don't have as a light green. It's more like a normal green, but it runs from here. It's that one here. Goes down and it routes back to the headlamp switch, which is, if I can show you where it goes, right here, and it goes back into the headlamp switch that's right under the dimmer switch. All right. Sorry, it goes into the high, it goes into the dimmer switch. That's where it goes. That green wire here, that's the one that's hooked up here with number 2. All right. After that, I got number 3, which is the yellow lamp driver, that's the courtesy lamp. It goes here. That's the yellow wire. And then it goes behind the dash there and goes all the way down. I have it hooked up to the passenger side, so whenever I'm turning on the ignition, have the courtesy lamp start lighting up on the right. Then after that, we have number 4, which is the fuse B+. This one comes from the fuse block that I installed on the passenger side. That's the it's tan and black. So it's this guy here, tan and black, and I just have it hooked up to a wire that goes to the fuse box, okay? After that, I have the light blue ignition switch sense. That this one is not hooked up, but that sense when you have like the ignition key in, there's a little plug that goes in the back here. If I can find it. Oh yeah, right here somewhere. Yeah, this one right here. There's like a little, it's a green little plug that goes in there, and it connects to those wires, and it sends when the key is in the ignition. I think it's a safety that prevents you to jump start if it doesn't sense the key in the ignition. But I'm not using that, so I'm going to pull this one when I'm going to use it. After that, I have 6 with this left door ajar switch sense, which this one is black and light blue. Again, black and light blue. That's this guy here. We're not going to use it. It's going there. Not going to use it. I don't think I'm going to use it. This one I think goes to the switches on the sides. To trigger on and off the courtesy lamps. Then after that, light green and white, which is the fuse B+ optical horn. So that's when you press the horn, then it gives 12 volt high beam. So I don't think I'm going to use this one either. I still need to figure out how to set up the horn switch. Then I have a red and white, which is the fuse B+. Red and white takes power from the harness directly. It's this one, and goes down, and I have it connected to the harness. This is a constant 12 coming from the harness. Then after that, I have the black and yellow, which is the headlamp switch output. So that black and yellow here, right here, goes and power up, connect to this black and white here, and that black and white goes to the dimmer switch. So that's what I'm using to power one side of the dimmer switch. All right, so that's it for the headlamp switch. This is grounding to the frame, so that's why I have it rested on the dash here, on the frame of the dash, so it can ground, but it grounds through to the armature there. So when you screw it in that hole, it just grounds through the armature there. So yeah, I'm gonna trim that up, and then along with the signals, I'm gonna start soldering and then cleaning up everything. Okay, right here I have the black and tan, which is the number 4, and that's the fuse positive for the headlamp, and I have it hooked up to a red wire that goes to the fuse box. All right, here we have the key ignition switch that we're going to remove because you're going to use that for now. We have the green and white 7, the optical horn that we're not gonna use, and we have the black and light blue, which is number 6, which is the door ajar switch stance that we're going to disconnect for now. And I have the tan that's not connected here. This is for the dimmer switch for the gauge cluster. All right, and now to remove the selector, there's a press button there on the switch. You just press it and you can remove it. So now I'm gonna set the light switch into the light socket. All right, brand new light switch. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna solder the flasher relay and install it behind the dash here as well. Alright, I installed the flasher relay. There's 3 wires coming out of it, and there's the combination flasher wires that go straight back to the turn signal hazard switch. Alright, so I connected the light on constant. So ignition doesn't need to be on to be turning them on. So that's low light and that's high. So I got all the light connected. So I have those 2 wires, this one, and this one. Those 2. They are my flashing lights in the front, my front signal for left and right. And then these 2 right here are my signal left and right for the tail. I do have extra wire running, 1 for each, for trailer lights, if I want to run these, or whatever auxiliary signal lights I wish to run later on. And then my park lights run on ignition as well. Next step will be to wire the park lights and signal lights for the front, and then after I'll do the back. Okay, I was working on the signals and I was trying to get the left and right markers to work. Those are just insert that goes into the fender here. It just goes one way and then you push it in, and then there's a screw on the back that goes into a bolt. So you just undo one bolt in the back and you can pull it out. And they have those little light inserts that goes in there. It's just twist. All right. So I was testing those lights, and turns out that one of the socket is not working. This one actually. So I swapped the bulbs from one to the other. So to get the bulbs out, you just pull on them. It's just a little press fit insert. So you put the bulb in, and then so both the bulbs are working with this one, but when I'm testing this one, it doesn't light up. Yeah, I'm gonna show you that now. No, is this one gonna work now? All right, if you test that one, nothing is happening. All right, so this one works. Actually, I dropped that bulb, so that bulb doesn't work anymore. For the markers, so we have two wires coming from the harness, which is one is the park, the brown one there, and one is the flasher, which is that light blue there. The front marker, this one, has three wires going to it. So you put the park, the flasher, and one of the wires ground. So the way to wire these, you get the park and the flasher to feed to those two wires, and then you extend those wires. So one is the park going in and departing, and one has the flasher going in and departing, and the two wires departing going back to the front marker and end at the front marker, and then you have one ground that goes to the ground, and that should work. So I'm gonna try to demonstrate that now, and I'm gonna just hook it up as described, and then we'll see how that works. Okay, so now light is on, and then both markers are lit up. So I just have both light hooked up with the park and the flashers, and this one is ground, and it's just a long ground that goes like on top there to like a random spot on the frame. All right, and then if I do left signal, both of them are working. So I got this figured out. So I just came back from my local store, and then they had these in stock, which are a little different, but I think I can make those fits. They have like four little tabs instead of just two, but they use the same bulbs. I bought like 10 of them. That was like $8 for 10. Bought spare breakers, or spare fuse, sorry. So I bought like a bunch of 15, bunch of 30. Those are the ones that I use the most, and I've been burning through the build, so I have some more spare for those. And then figure out the rear light as well. Now with both the rear and the front connected, my blinkers are blinking normally. So I just There you go. So got lights in the front, left blinkers, and then front ones, both working properly. Then I hook up the brake light as well. Let's see if that still blinks with the brake on. Yeah. All right. This stop when if I go left, then yeah, because it's not hooked up, but that's what I got. I think when I brake, the flashers should work, but that's not what's happening. I'm going to research that. Finally got all the flashers to work. All right, so I'm running into an issue here where I have my flasher sorted out, back and front. And then, so when I use the flashers, it's all good on both sides. And if I use the brake, then I get a light. But if I use the flasher and the brake, the flashers is stopping, and then I only get brake light on one side where it is connected, because you're supposed to connect the brake switch to the signal switch. So usually when you have the harness all set up properly, then I guess it kind of route the signal so you can retain signal flasher on even though the brake light is on. Anyway, so right now I have like those are my signals for the flashers for the back, so right and left. Right now I have the parking brake set on the right, so I only have parking brake on the right when I press on brake. I only have brake light when I brake. I don't get the flasher signal. Obviously it works fine when I do left signal, because the brake is only applied to the right. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split this one, so I have brake lights on both sides. But the thing is, if it connects the two, then when I use a signal, then it will signal on the other side as well, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use diodes. Diodes are like one-way valve kind of thing for power. So I'm gonna have like the power going to the flashers when I apply the brake, but when the signal is on, there's gonna be a diode stopping the power from traveling into the brake cable that's connected on both sides. All right, I found two diodes in my salvage electronics. They're not the same size, but I think they made for 120 volts, so they're overrated for what I need to do anyway. They're saying I can't read what's on there. It's very small. But if we test them, so I'm gonna just test them on the ground side. So on this way it shouldn't go. On this way it's gonna go, I think. So it should see 12 volt here. All right. So 12 volt. And then if I flip it on the other side, now it's going to block. That's with that little wall there, that little band, that's the wall. So it prevents the power to go through. There you go, so 0. So I'm going to make a little harness with a diode on both sides into the brake lights. And then I'll show you what it looks like when we get this sorted out. Alright, that's what I got. So I have a shrink tube with the diode in there. I trimmed a bit the end here so I can fit it in, and I have the solder in there. The gray band is on this side, so I'm planning the brake power to go in there into the signal flasher, but the signal flasher won't be able to travel back into the other connection. Alright, that's what I came up with. So brake power coming from the bottom, and then to the signal flashers, and have the diodes to prevent power to go back down. So I'm going to install it and then show what it looks like when we use it. Alright, so I installed my little harness there. Now I get signal on both sides. They're divided. They both have brake power. But I still have my issue where when I apply signal, if I brake at the same time, my signals are stopping. So that did not fix my issue. I'm just gonna leave it be for now and maybe come back to it later or not. I don't know. Actually, right now I'm gonna try to hook up the wiper and then windshield washer. Alright, so still working on the lights, but now I hooked up the cabin lights, so when I activate the courtesy lamp, they're now working, which they never worked before, so it's a big win. Found the wire for the dome lights, so I'm going to install it on a switch. If I ground this cable, I get the dome light to work. So I'm just gonna put that on a switch, and then that's gonna be it for the cabin lights. That's all I got for now. Next will be, I got the wipers hooked up as well. I just connected all the wires back to the wiper, like these. They all like the wipers, and they all like match the colors with the motor. The only one that needed to be hooked up was this one needed to see fuse, so I hooked it up to the to my accessory power over there, and then the wipers are working properly. Next will be horn, and then a windshield fluid. I couldn't find like where to hook it up on the switch there. So worst case scenario, I'm just going to put a button on the dash for a windshield washer. Also, the dash needs to be hooked up, and then the HVAC, which I'm missing a cable for it.